Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome back. One of our most popular guests that we've ever had on this program. As a matter of fact, she got a lot more email than I do. Rita Marker. What do you do? How do you make sure you can make your own health decisions when the time comes? Hi, Rita, from the Patients' Rights Council. It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Rita, we got some young people out there. Those people 16, 17 years old. They're not worried about this stuff.
Oh, well, how many of you are just 18 or over? None of you are 18 or over?
Nobody's 18 or over. I've seen people lie about their age. Show of hands.
How many of you are 17? No 17-year-olds. Well, there's a question that we get asked a lot of times. And people call in and they say, oh, my grandmother's going into a nursing home, and she really needs to figure out what to do. My question always is, what happens if after, well, in fact, anybody that's here today, what happens if after they leave here they're in a car accident and they can't make their own decisions for a week or 2 weeks or maybe for the rest of their lives? Who's going to make it for them?
Don't their parents make it for them? Don't a relative, a spouse?
Well, if they're under 18, the parents can make it for them. But once they're 18, college student, sports injury, car accident, they don't have a right to do that.
The parents can't do that?
Not after 18-year-old, you're an adult. Also, people say, well, gosh, my husband and my wife will make it. Well, it depends on where you are. Like if you're in Ohio, it's only if you're dying. It doesn't deal with necessarily the car accident situation where you can't make decisions. If you happen to be living in Ohio, which I do, but we don't spend a lot of time in Ohio. Well, I don't. I'm out of state a lot. That's why my husband and I have been married so long.
Okay, so yeah, it's good for marriages. It works.
Oh, it really is. I mean, people think I'm joking. Ask my poor long-suffering husband. Anyway, depends on what state you're in, and if, for example, we're going over to Pennsylvania to watch the Pirates play, because that's the most important thing in the world, then you have to go through West Virginia. And in West Virginia, if you're in a car accident and you go to the hospital, you can't make your own decisions. So that state does have what I call a default statute, where it lists people that can make decisions for you, like a spouse or children or whatever, adult children. But then it says, but if the attending physician or the supervising nurse thinks somebody not on that list would be a better decision maker, they can designate them.
They can pick?
They can pick.
What if they pick the doctor?
You can't pick the doctor, but that's about it. In California, there's no provision for that. I'm an attorney. I practice in California. I practice in D.C., and it's amazing the difference in state to state as far as this goes.
If that nurse or doctor says that this person here, in my opinion, is too religious, then I want that person over there to make the decision.
Well, they can say whatever they want to say. They don't have the right to say it, because if people are really careful, and this means from the time they are 18 on up, to have the right kind of a legal document to protect themselves, then the nurse can say everything he or she wants, and the doctor can say everything they want. And you can say, thank you for your information, but this is the way it's going to be. So anybody 18 on up should have what I call a durable power of attorney for health care. We have one that we make available to people. Now that's really different than a living will.
Durable power of attorney
for health care. But a carefully written one.
But we don't know how to do that. We're not attorneys.
That's right. Most people don't. And most attorneys don't know how to do those right either. They look on the law and they say, oh, well, this is what's in the law. So they have pages and pages and pages of gobbledygook. And it doesn't really help much. At the Patients' Rights Council, we make these documents available. In fact, people can call us.
Last time you were on a show, you sent me a bunch of those.
Yeah. And the thing is that we have 26 different versions, because 25 states have their own little picky requirements. It has to comply with the state law, but it has to be well written. And so we have 25 different, or 26 versions, 25 unique to the state, each state.
And I fill this out myself, though? If you send it to my house, I don't need to hire an attorney for it?
You do not need an attorney for this. And in fact, I would tend to warn you that most attorneys are really good dealing with finances and all that sort of thing. But when it comes to health care, they don't understand. They don't understand what the words mean. But let me mention one other thing, too. There are two types of advance directive. There's what is known as the living will, and then there is the durable power of attorney for health care.
Everybody thinks they got a living will, they're fine.
Yeah, you know, the living will has so many loopholes you can drive a hearse through it. And that's really what it is. It says something like, if I'm unable to make decisions, I direct my attending physician to withhold or withdraw life-sustaining treatment and let me die naturally.
It gives the power to the physician?
Yeah, but it sounds really good because nobody wants to be hooked up to everything with the toaster and the blender until the machine breaks down. And so they think, well, I'm giving directions to my doctor. First of all, you don't know who your attending physician is going to be.
That's right. You go to the emergency room, you don't know who's there.
Well, even if it isn't the emergency room, how many people have their own personal physician anymore? What if you're out of town, out of state, whatever? It gives authority to an attending physician, which is very unwise. But in a durable power of attorney for healthcare, what you do is you name someone that you know and trust who agrees with your views and values.
Like an adult child. My daughter Sarah is 28.
Yep.
She's
right. Not only who agrees with your views and values, but who can be assertive on your behalf. This has to be somebody that can stand up to people that are saying, well, this is what you need to do. No. People in the healthcare field have the obligation to inform you of the options, but not to tell you what to do.
So the most common thing is if I'm on a GI tube or a feeding tube, they would say, take it out, take it out.
Right.
And my daughter, who would protect me, would say, no, this is against our Catholic teaching and morals, and no, this is not what my dad would want.
Yeah. And it isn't just against Catholic teaching and morals. You know, when you're talking about some things that are really necessary, well, there's 4 things that are basic care. You all may have seen the show, Are You Smarter Than the Fifth Grader? Even 5th graders know this. 4 things that are basic care, not medical treatment. 1 is appropriate warmth. Another is correct hygiene. And I'm not talking about, you know, the hair being all, but I'm talking about not being in filth. Okay. Another one is repositioning. If somebody can't move, you have to reposition them or else they'll get bed sores and they'll get infected and die. And then there's food and fluids. Those 4 things do not treat any illness at all. They prevent something from going bad. So whether you start out as a healthy Olympic athlete or totally dependent on others, you need those 4 things. Now when it comes to other things, like people say, well, what about a ventilator? It can be very appropriate not to have a ventilator. It can be very appropriate to say, do not resuscitate. But that's being pushed on so many people nowadays. This type of document lets you name the person that you know and trust, who agrees with your views and values, and you discuss it with them. It also does not have what some kind of documents have, and you get them from churches and from groups you really agree with, that will have little check boxes. I do want this, I don't want this. Well, that's like all or nothing. You don't want to get that. And then some of them have these little lines and it says, fill in your additional wishes. Not a good thing to do, because if it says fill in your additional wishes, you write something down, it may have an entirely different meaning.
If I have this, and to the kids, the young kids out there thinking, hey, come on, that's so far away, I don't even want to think about any of this stuff. If I have this, you send it to my house, I can sit down and fill this out, I can have whoever it is that I want to be. Can I pick more than one person?
You have to pick, well, you have to pick one. Then there's not just picking one.
Primary, secondary, tertiary.
First alternate, because what happens if you name your spouse and then you're both in the car accident? So then you name somebody else as a first alternate and one as a second alternate. Now, people say, well, I've got all these kids and I don't want to feel left out, so I'm going to name them all to make decisions. Not a good thing to do.
Oh, man, they can vote on how much you messed them up with their allowance or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really necessary, but if people want to get this, wherever they are in the country, we'll provide it to them. Even other countries have used this, although it has a different, it doesn't quite have the clout that it does.
And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get all kinds of emails again. Refer me.
Yeah.
You had a lady on there talking about this. I didn't catch it all. I didn't remember her name. Okay, what do they got to do?
So all they need to do is just call our office, or for people who are here, fill out the cards, but they just contact the Patients' Rights Council.
PatientsRightsCouncil.org.
Org.
One long word.